Hey ghouls! It's been a minute. Again. So basically I already filmed a video like a week ago and it was a complete shit show. I have been ill for so long and I was still ill, but I was feeling slightly better, so I was like, this is my only chance to do this video, and I recorded just a complete mashup of like a bunch of things that I realised needed to be separate. I basically did a video of me ranting about being ill and what I got for my birthday and clips from the show that I went to for my birthday, and it was just a shit show. I didn't even introduce the clips, I didn't give myself space for anything, it was just awful. And I was still coughing my guts up. Oh my god, calm down, it's not that serious. So I'm re-recording them. I'm doing them as separate videos. So this one is just me ranting about being ill, and talking a little bit about that because why not? So basically I booked my birthday week off from work and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do all this stuff on my birthday week off providing I feel okay, because, you know, chronically ill all the time, anything could go wrong at any time. And it did. I didn't get to do anything that week because I was really ill, and thankfully I wasn't too bad on my actual birthday, so I did get to go to the water park show on my birthday, thank god, because I would have been devastated if I hadn't been able to see my favourite band on my birthday. So that's in a separate video. But yeah, basically the minute my week off started I was suffering with chronic migraines and headaches. And this is a new thing. I don't know what's going on. I have experienced it before, probably about a month or so ago, where I was having a really bad headache and migraine. And I have like these little, obviously everybody's got like floaters in their eye, but mine keep sort of setting near my eye and like in my vision almost, and like kind of on the edges. And I thought, okay, but it was mainly on my right eye, so I was like, okay, maybe that's what's wrong. But like, it's still serious, right? So I went to the opticians, even though I'd only been like a month or so before that and got a new prescription. I went and they checked my eye and they were like, no, it's fine, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, cut to now, I'm like, oh, I'm having migraines again, that's weird. And the thing's still happening with the floaters in my eye, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on. So I have been having chronic migraines and headaches every day that week. Thankfully I haven't now, touch wood, but for that entire week, migraine, headache, it was either like a migraine where I couldn't move, I was just sat on the sofa unable to move or do anything, or a severe headache where it felt like my brain was exploding out of my face. So it wasn't nice either way, but it was one or the other and no thing in between. So I thought to myself, okay, maybe I'm just stressing out about my birthday because I have plans, I don't want anything to go wrong, and I don't want to get ill with something on my birthday and not be able to go. So I thought maybe it's just stress. So I was like zenning out, I was taking care of myself, nothing was working. So I was like, okay, maybe it's not stress. I was like, I don't see why I would be so stressed out that it would give me a headache anyway, but whatever. And I thought maybe I'm dehydrated. So I was just drinking so much liquid, it was just insane. It wasn't that. I don't know what it was. I ended up, it came to my birthday anyway on the Thursday and the water parks gig, and I actually wasn't that bad that day. I did have a headache, but it was like a tolerable headache, so I was like, so we had our day out. It came to the show, I had earplugs in because I could still obviously hear because it's loud in there, obviously, and it was amazing. But I had to have earplugs in because I didn't want to trigger anything, and I was just really careful. I also didn't sing along because I knew that I was going to be run down after the show because I was already feeling run down. Spending an entire day and evening running around London when you have fibro isn't the best thing in the world because it does make you chronically ill and run down for like, you know, the next few days because you're using up all your energy. So I was prepared for that, that's why I booked the entire week off. And yeah, so I was really careful. I wasn't singing along, I was like mouthing along, and I was like not moving too much, but I was having a bit of a jig. And yeah, I was really careful. And then Friday wasn't too bad. I was exhausted, but like I wasn't too bad. Saturday, I still had a bit of a headache, but it wasn't a migraine, so I was thankful. And then Sunday, I started to feel like a sore throat, and I was like, oh no, what's that about? And because of me still having headaches and migraines, the headache wasn't that bad, but I knew that it wasn't normal to have headaches and migraines for that long, or at least I don't think it is. Cut to that in a minute. So I believe it was the Saturday day, because my partner had the week off as well. Saturday day, I decided that, like, so it's not right, you know, I'm still feeling this way. It obviously wasn't stress for my birthday because I'm still feeling rough. So we've decided to go, and I tried to book an appointment with the out of hours GP, because getting an appointment with your actual GP is impossible at the moment. I thought going in the day would be better. It definitely was, but it was still really busy. But I had an appointment, I had a set time to go in, so I was a bit like, okay, this shouldn't be too bad, right? And I went in and I explained everything, and the guy was just like, oh yeah, sounds like just like migraines. I was like, is it normal to have a migraine? Like a week solid? No respite? And he was like, are you not prone to migraines? I was like, no, I'm really not. Anyway, he said to follow up with my GP and that I probably need an MRI, and I was like, cool, that's scary. Anyway, here's some some migraine tablets. I was like, okay. And then I got sent on my way. So that was not fun. And then on the Sunday, I had a sore throat, and I was like, uh-oh. Because obviously I'm run down, so I'm like on high alert, because that's when stuff strikes. And I was like, why do I have a sore throat? And then on the Monday, I had work. Thankfully, I was on the late. But I woke up and I was just like swollen, and I couldn't swallow. And I was just, and it was so sore, and I was like, oh no. I quickly filled in a form for my GP again, asking to see a doctor, because obviously I don't have a spleen, I have low immunity. So whenever I get an infection and I know that that's what's happening, I have to get penicillin or amoxicillin as soon as possible, because, you know, it could literally kill me. So I filled out the little form and I was like, I need my penicillin. And they just texted me and said, oh, someone from this random pharmacy will contact you about it and speak to you. And I was just like, okay. They didn't. So I had, obviously, like I say, I had work later that day, so I was like, I need to nip this in the bud as soon as possible, because I've got work this week and I can feel it happening. And I knew what it was. I knew I was getting tonsillitis. I could feel it. I always know, and I was right. And yeah, so I rang them up again and I was like, look, this pharmacy has not called me within the times that I asked. I'm now at work. And they were like, oh, well, they said that they call you. Maybe call them and see what's going on. And I was like, I don't know who they are. Figured it out, called them up. Woman was so fucking rude. I'm like, why do people do jobs that they fucking hate? I don't get it. She was just like, yeah, we call you before 6. I was like, well, I'll be at work. Like, I requested between, not our problem, we call you before 6. And then just like hung up. And I was like, sure. They didn't call me. They did not call me. I kept my phone in my pocket. I hated doing that because I was at work and I was panicking the entire time that like a customer was going to be speaking to me. I'm going to be speaking to a customer. I'm going to be like, hold that thought. I need to answer this call real quick. They didn't even call me. It got to 6 o'clock. Thankfully, my GP closed at 6:30. So I called them at 6:05 and I was like, look, they have not called me. They said before 6, they're not calling me. And they were like, well, maybe you can speak to 111 and get your emergency meds that way. And I was like, you guys have messed up here, because it turns out that they thought I meant after the time that I specified was fine, because I was at work before that time, even though I filled in the form correctly. She rechecked it and was like, oh, yeah, sorry, we thought you meant after 4 o'clock, so they'll probably contact you later. I was like, no, she told me it'd be before 6, it's after 6. This isn't happening today, and I need these medications. So, yeah, I kicked off, and I was upset. I was just like, I'm ill, and, like, you're fucking around with me right now. I've got work tomorrow, like, what am I supposed to do? Anyway, she's like, I'll speak to your pharmacy and I will let them know that you're coming by tomorrow morning before you start work. They'll have a look at you and they'll give you your penicillin. And I was like, okay, thank you, at least something's being done. I call in work and I'm like, look, I can't come in because I am feeling really ill now. Like, it was vile. I go to this pharmacy and I say, yeah, they're expecting me. They weren't expecting me. No one spoke to them. I was like, are you fucking serious? So I'm not going to be with that doctor's anymore. I'm leaving that doctor's surgery because they're absolutely diabolically shit. My doctor left anyway, and it's been a shit show ever since. So I'm going to fuck them off and find somewhere else. I mean, nowhere's great at the minute because the NHS is just so stretched thin, but Christ, that was terrible. And yeah, anyway, he was really nice, and he looked at me and he went, yeah, that's tonsillitis, all right. He was like, it's the early stages, but it's definitely tonsillitis. And he was like, here's your here's your penicillin. I was like, thank you. So I just went home and just consumed the penicillin. I hate penicillin. I fucking hate it. I hate it. When I first had my spleen out, like 30 years ago, whenever it was, they were saying that I'd have to be on penicillin for the rest of my life, and the doctors even asked that. They're like, are you supposed to be on it anyway? And I'm like, no. That was an old study. You're talking about really old information that's not relevant anymore, and that didn't work for me anyway. I was still constantly getting ill because I just had no immunity, and the penicillin was just nuking everything in my stomach and my system, and I was just frail. I was just like, it was just vile. So, and I fucking hate it anyway. It's disgusting. It's vile. So I was like, I don't need to take it every day. I just, like, my body's built up its own kind of resilience to a degree, and I do get ill a lot less than I used to, thank God. It's built up itself enough that I can get by without getting every single common cold. But every so often, you know, when something serious comes along, it's like... But that's fine. So yeah, I have to have penicillin or amoxicillin, and unfortunately this time it was penicillin. I don't mind amoxicillin because it comes in little capsules and you can't taste it. It just goes down the hatch and you don't have to worry about it. But penicillin is in a little tablet form and it tastes fine. So, and you have to have it on an empty stomach. I cannot do that. I have to have it with a little kid's yogurt. You know, the little flavoured yogurts? And I just put the penicillin in. I fill the spoon up with like a chunk of yogurt and I just push the pill into it, and then I just... And then I put the yogurt back in the fridge and I have it for the next time I have to have a mouthful. At first it wasn't so bad because I couldn't taste anything anyway, but towards the end of like the 5 days that they give it to you for, I could taste again and I was like, ugh. Thankfully it didn't drag down the back of my throat, otherwise I would have physically been sick. It makes me physically sick every time. I still get PTSD when a regular tablet drags down the back of my throat, but like whenever I used to have to take penicillin when I was a kid with a drink, it would always get stuck and I would start panicking and I would want to be sick, and the taste, and I just absolutely hate it. So yeah, I have to have it with yogurt. So I got through quite a few yogurts. But it was literally just a mouthful, so it didn't affect anything. But and now I feel a lot better, thank God. I'm still not 100%, and I haven't had a migraine. I still need to go to the doctors about it though, because it is weird that it keeps happening and no one seems to know why, because I was never... It might be to do with my fibro. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea, but they're vile. Absolutely vile migraines. And they make you feel a bit sick, that you can't physically move, and it's just awful. But yeah, so I have no idea if the migraine was the tonsillitis manifesting itself, I don't think so, because my partner got tonsillitis as well at the same time as me, so we think that we caught it when we were waiting in that waiting room for my appointment. So I think we kind of caught, yeah, on a low, we caught it. Obviously he's been quite ill as well. He got over it a bit quicker than me, and obviously he doesn't need to take any medication for it, but I did feel bad because I was like, did I give it to you? I don't think I did. I think we both caught it from that waiting room, and I was so careful as well, but you just can't be that careful when you're in a closed environment like that full of sick people and, you know, whatever. It's just not possible. It's in the air. So yeah, it sucked. I'm feeling a lot better now though, thank fuck. Today is my first day off from being back at work again, and I was really tired yesterday when I finished work, but today I'm feeling like fine, you know. So I'm gonna try and do all of the things that I need to do today, and that's probably gonna be a mistake because I'm probably gonna be dead on my feet for the rest of the week, but I don't know, I still have that thing where, like, when you have a good day you just want to do everything in that day and just be like, I want to make the most of it. So that's probably what I'm going to do today. So yeah, that's why I'm doing this video again, and I might try and do another video today as well while I can, while my energy is still, you know, decent and I'm not stood here like because I know I am like that in some of my videos. It is because I'm in chronic pain all the fucking time. So to not have pain, it's just like, hell yeah. So yeah. That's what I've been dealing with lately, and yeah, it'll probably take months for me to actually get an MRI if they do send me for one, because they have to pay for it, and I feel like they're not going to want to do that. I need to have one anyway, because as the guy said at the hospital, as the doctor said at the hospital, sorry, you know, they should really send me for one anyway to make sure that my fibromyalgia is fibromyalgia and not ME, because apparently they're very similar in symptoms, but ME shows up on a brain scan and fibro doesn't. I don't know. So yeah, that's fun. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about having that done, but we'll see. Yeah, I just wanted to update you and rant because I was so pissed off. I was so ill and so pissed off. It was unreal. So yeah, that's it for this video. You can imagine what this was like mashed in with all the other stuff. So yeah, be thankful that I've cut it up for you because yeah, it was a shit show. So yeah, hopefully now I'm on and up and I'll have some really good days and I'll have some shit to show you and go out and do stuff. The weather's actually really nice now, which is awesome because the weather usually in the UK is absolute diabolically shit. So hopefully I'll be able to go out and do stuff. Hopefully. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one where I won't be moaning, hopefully. Bye!